had always wanted to make a movie for my kids. I had thought about a world that I would love to live in, and honestly, it came out of getting to spend time around an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, and the years before that, a whole lot, and getting to see the power of imagination.
This is a movie that John and I have been talking about for years now. So way before the script was ever even written, we were kind of banging back ideas back and forth about this and about what it might feel like to shoot something that, you know, in essence feels a bit like a live-action Pixar film. And that's really what John has put on the page, I think. And you know, it's incredibly emotional, and it ebbs and flows. It's that make them laugh, make them cry, and bring them back to laughter.
In my opinion, Ryan Reynolds is one of the most talented people we have ever had in this business, full stop. Not only is he clearly wildly funny, but he is so enormously talented in his performance. He has the ability to draw you in with his charm, with his comedy, but then also make these hairpin turns of emotion. He knows that timing isn't just about jokes. Timing is also how you get an emotional reaction out of someone too. And I'm just so excited for people to see him in a role like this, which, to be really honest, I don't think anyone else could have played.
As we started shooting this movie, I've talked to a lot of people that, you know, they'll ask me what I'm up to. I'll say, oh, I'm shooting this film about imaginary friends. I've talked to people who are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who will talk about, oh man, I miss my imaginary friends. I had 2 when I was a kid, and their names were this and that. And they would kind of go into this sort of wistful, nostalgic, and not the least of which emotional kind of reverie of when they were kids and that time when they had that friend that was there for them unconditionally and always.
Right? He might do that to try to catch it, but if it comes this way, right? If it comes this way and goes this, he's gonna try to like catch one. Clearly, I am someone who is completely immersed and married to the theatrical experience. For me personally, there is nothing like sitting in a dark room with strangers and experiencing something new. I think that the thing that makes movies the most theatrical, in my opinion, these days, is to immerse people in a world that surrounds you both in sight and sound. And I think that this movie is exactly that. It's not just a story that you want to see in a 2-dimensional form, but it's actually something that you want to live in. You want to walk with this little girl, and when she meets these magical characters, you want to meet them as well.
I had a kind of an imaginary friend when I was a kid. It was Pookie was was his name, and he was like a bear, like a kind of looked just like a teddy bear sort of thing. And my brother Jeff and I shared this imaginary friend back and forth, and it was like a really kind of a weird bond my brother and I had, and it's something we still talk about to this day. So this movie on every level really kind of resonated with me in ways that I both expected and didn't expect.
This movie is about you step into that theater with whatever was on your back during the day or whatever worries you had, and this movie will not only transport you to a place, a magical place where you can experience something that you've never experienced before, but it'll also allow you to look at the world when you go back out in a different way. And if you have stress, if you have fears, which we all do, it's not about the fact that they don't exist. It's about we can deal with them in a different way, which is more hopeful. So I think for me, if I had one thing I wanted people to leave this movie with, it's hope.